picks and bans for second semifinals here. herO versus ByuL, the team kill. I'm Wolf. With me is Moonglade. About to find out who our second finalist is going to be.
That's right. Hopefully these games go a little bit longer than the first series. I think the first series could have been put into like one of the games that Fantasy played against Dark. You know, they were just so short and so quick.
Yeah.
3 all-ins, essentially, and that's the way it happens. Life is gone.
Yeah, some good strategic choices out of Dark, but it's still a disappointing series overall, like no matter which way you want to look at it. Just because it was smart, or even if his micro was like godlike or perfect and that's why he won the series, it was just not fun to see a series end like that.
Just a little too quick for my liking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this one's going to slow down a lot there. These two guys are going to be having a lot of mind games. Obviously, very close teammates, and the two aces of CJ going to go head-to-head like this. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be. I'm hoping they're going to see some more of this, like, just pure Blink Stalker Sentry type play out of herO, as well as, you know, in the future after this tournament, more of that with Protoss, because without the Swarm host, Zerg seems to be struggling with that. It took Protoss players long enough to kind of figure out, wait a minute, Blink Stalkers, if you micro well enough, kind of beat everything that Zerg has.
Pretty much, yeah. With a few additions, if Zerg gets to Hive, like, sure, you know, add some Templar or maybe Immortals, whatever is coming his way. Yeah, it really is such a strong composition these days.
You know what it reminds me of a lot of is actually like Wings of Liberty 5X Reaper. It's like Reapers aren't supposed to beat everything that Zerg has, but if you micro them perfectly, like they kind of just can in the early game, especially in those grenades. Like
you mean like way back in like the first like 6 months of Wings of Liberty?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's see which bans we're gonna see out here first. Probably a ban on Inferno Pools from ByuL. For herO, I'm not sure which map he'd ban. Actually, he's going to grab Inferno Pools, get rid of that
first.
first.
That's just a bad map for both these guys. And third base is just in the middle of nowhere or in the middle of the map. Like, it's just completely unviable. Coda going to be the ban for ByuL, actually.
Interesting. A really good map for herO's style. I wonder if we're going to see herO try to avoid picking Iron Fortress, because that's been kind of an annoying map for these Protoss players to take the third base on.
It has been, yeah, especially if it's his horizontal positions that we did see.
Yeah.
Really good distance. But it's going to be second map here.
Yeah. Grabbing that really early. Echo going to be the first map. So Coda's gone, but we'll grab that earlier map. And then Cactus Valley, a lot of choke points on that map. Only a map that herO's going to be pretty comfortable with.
Yeah, that's the dirty map. Definitely a herO choice.
Yeah.
There's going to be Bonnie and Expedition. All right.
ByuL loves Expedition Lost, and he's done so well on that map. I'm a bit surprised he ends up coming out at Game 5 here.
Yeah, the gold maps actually being the last couple. Bit surprising, but ByuL, you know, he hasn't always done that style in these matches compared to the likes of the other Zerg players in this tournament.
Yeah. So brought a Roach Insecticide, so Roach Killer he brought to the studio today.
That's so weird.
So funny.
That's like commitment times 10 to a sign.
Hilarious.
Wow. Nice job. All right, so the first map is going to be on Echo. And that's a pretty good standard map we have in today's ladder pool, I guess. You know,
yeah.
It's not too bad. It's very similar to Coda in a lot of ways as well.
This tournament's really unique for me because I've gotten to learn all these new maps. Like Cactus Valley is the map that I feel like, besides Vani, obviously, that I know the most in this pool, simply because it's in the Star League.
Yeah.
And Iron Fortress probably number 2 because it's in the GSL.
Right.
I've never commentated it before this, and now like Coda and Echo, I've learned quite a bit just as watching the play on them throughout this tournament, and they play like very standard, smaller 2-player maps. Like there's nothing weird or odd about them. On the Korean stream, we have like a shot of our big crowd and that Roach guy.
That Roach guy.
That Roach guy, man. He brought the insecticide.
He actually brought insecticide.
He should have just drawn a Blink logo on top of the sign. That would have been good enough for me.
That would have been good enough. And be a little less effort for him as well.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. Cactus Valley. I'm not a fan of that map, to be honest. Simply because of that little choke. It just makes things very awkward to fight into and can really slow down the game.
Yeah.
To a point where you just no way in unless you have like blinding clouds or something.
Sure. We saw Myungshake, was the only player actually kind of messed that up in that little choke point. But even saw like his coach come in there and talk to him and be like, don't do that quite like that. Like you could see the potential for the build to work was there, and he ended up just kind of mismicroing it and I'm drawing a blank on who his opponent was, but he barely got herO out in time to hold and survive.
Oh, was that ByuL?
Yeah, I think it might have actually been ByuL.
Yeah, that was ByuL.
Zerg versus Protoss. It's Pac-Man Zerg eating the Zealots. Oh, look at that, getting us a win.
Oh, he won something? He won one of those envelopes.
Yeah, one of those envelopes.
Is he a Viper?
He might be a Viper.
The Viper thing's happening.
He brought his family, I guess.
He brought his family. He brought the insecticide, and somehow he gets a prize for that. It's like, that's kind of weird, so here you go. Like,
he's got a lot of creative science.
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty packed studio today.
It really is, and it's Children's Day.
As expected.
Yeah, it's Children's Day, so I wouldn't expect as many people to be here because usually Children's Day is a day where you like go outside, do like picnics and stuff like that.
Right.
In my experience from living here, so what an awesome family to bring the kid down to the Starcraft finals.
That's what I would do. I'd bring my son to whatever child I have. It's to the studio.
You bring your son and your daughter, man.
I'd bring my daughter and my son, even if it was a little baby. I'd bring him down.
Yeah.
Get his first look at the Starcraft games.
Baby cries every time Blink gets researched.
I'm like, I know, don't worry, it'll be okay.
You are my son.
Yeah, I love you. That's how it would go.
Like watches like a young shit game and like your child's first word is bro. Like,
like his first words like Blink, and like he cheers for the person. Like, you're not my son. You're not my son.
I don't know you.
Who are you? Put him up for adoption.
Oh man, imagine the stress of actually parenting someone who doesn't want to play the race that you play, who thinks force fields are balanced.
I didn't know how I could live with it, man.
Force fields are really good, Dad. You're like, I don't know about that, son.
It's like, we're going to have to sit down and have a bit of a talk. One of those talks that you have later on in life, and he needs a life lesson right now.
You just don't get me, Dad.
You just don't get me. I'm different. I don't know.
I want to play random, it's fine.
If he played random, I'd forgive him. If he wanted to be a Protoss player, that's another story. As we talk about Protoss, you're his hero.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about his results, but you guys saw him on screen there.
He's great.
Insanely good.
He's pretty good. He's one of the best. He hasn't had much success inside career in these individual tournaments there. Looking for possibly his first finals even. I can't remember if we've seen him in the finals before, but he certainly has not won.
Well, he was in the finals of the last KeSPA Cup last year.
Aha!
And he lost to Zest.
That's right, okay.
So one of his only Korean finals, if not his only. You can see here versus Protoss, ByuL's got a decent record in these matches that we've got listed from Korea, but a lot of those are really good holds. He's actually really good at holding all-ins, which is kind of where we're at in the Protoss versus Zerg right now. That's Coach Park.
Oh, which coach is on whose team is the next question.
That's a good question,
I reckon the handsome man on the right is going to be going for ByuL.
Yeah, I feel like Coach Park's on hero's side here.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm thinking.
We might have actually coached these two separately.
I think they should have, actually.
And they're not even talking to each other.
It's like so counterproductive as well. Like there's this massive like awkwardness inside the team house.
Sure.
Man, can't even imagine. They probably actually just went home and just slept and didn't actually bother to do massive amounts.
Well,
of
they know each other so well, and most of the preparation for this on a weekend tournament like this is image training, as we saw or we just discussed earlier, which is just watching VODs and whatnot.
And it was such a big day yesterday for both these players, so they probably just simply exhausted at this point.
Well, I certainly was, man. It was a long, awesome day of StarCraft. All right, our first game here in this team kill. It's time to jump into Echo. herO versus ByuL.
CJ Entus herO 김준호 vs CJ Entus ByuL 한지원.
The top of the map in yellow. It's herO for CJ Entus.
In the bottom right of the map, it is ByuL CJ Entus. Let the mind games begin.
Yeah. One of our, actually, I think our only team kill in this tournament.
Yeah, I think that is correct.
I don't really like team kills. I always feel like it adds this layer of like unpredictability and just kind of craziness to it. Oh, he abducted his wife.
That's awesome.
Where's his envelope? Where is it?
Give him
kiss.
We never get to see that. We never get to see that here, Wolf.
No, we don't. I'm happy about it, though.
Me too.
Never be afraid of to show people what you love, man. Whether it's Starcraft or your wife or both, in this case.
You don't have to choose. You can love both.
Oh, they're there again. True love.
It's cute. It's a cute couple right there. Hey, he gets it. Good. All right. So we're going to see a drone scout early on from ByuL to sort things out. Obviously, herO does favor his Forge openings more often than not in this matchup. We saw that yesterday where he did it every single game.
Yeah.
So ByuL is going to go for the scout. He's going to see exactly what's up. He's going to see that gateway expand to the build opening.
It's so important to scout versus somebody who's doing Forge-oriented openings on Echo, on Coda, these smaller maps, two-player maps.
I mean, any map, really, when you think about it, because, you know, you can do a double probe scout, and if you want to be that aggressive with cannons as well.
It's true, you know.
There's always the danger there. And just a lot of players don't choose to go for it on the four-player maps.
It's just so much more likely here, but yeah, I mean, if you want to play safe against somebody who loves Forge expanding, you do it. And this is maybe why we don't see a Forge expand out of heroes, because he's thinking ByuL's probably going to expect that.
Most likely. I see a hatch first into a gas before pool.
Another gas steal. We saw him do this yesterday. He's going to force a Zealot to come out.
I like it. I like it.
Pretty annoying.
Slows down the tech a little bit. And yeah, forcing that Zealot out that early, probably doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, is definitely something you'd like to avoid. You give him a few extra minerals, of course, but it's not important. That's not what actually you want to have as a Protoss in this stage of the game. Probe comes over here, sees the hatch timing. It's immediately going to go and block the third base, because he knows that is the next step here for ByuL, most likely. He doesn't know that ByuL has gas, of course, because it didn't go all the way into the main, and it looks like now that he sees there's no drone over there, he knows there's probably gas, wants to go check to see how much and how long it's been mining.
Yep, needs to scout out when that pool timing is. You will see everything. Okay, it's going to be pretty early lings on the map. Got to be careful around the 6-minute mark. Got to make sure I have the wall off ready and the tech on the way for it. It will be a delayed third base from ByuL.
Yeah. Now ByuL is hovering an Overlord near the Cybernetics core, so he's actually going to be able to see if any Chrono Boost is being used on that Warp Gate research to kind of counteract what's going on with the gas. So I like that Overlord placement.
Yeah, that is very important. You want to see if it's going to be chronoed or not. Gives away so much.
It's actually going to be a chronoed Stalker instead, which is going to help clear up you know, any more lings that are going to come out here, as well as going to be able to push the Overlords away. Stalkers kill Overlords so much faster than sentries do, and also much better at chasing and killing lings.
There's that third base coming down around 5 minutes. Not too delayed. Getting his sort of economy up and running. 2 queens and that speed on the way. Half done already.
Ooh, is Zealot going to get a swipe? Nope. He's going to lose this Ling build one more shot. So no big deal. Sentry's going to come out here, start building that energy, and actually going to even add another Sentry. Not a Stargate, which I kind of feeling like we're about to see a Stargate go down.
Still possible. It's only 3 gates so far. Not too much of a commitment, just the standard you'd want to see for someone going for a third base. Only 2 gases there.
Yeah.
And there's a Forge, so I think it will just be a 3 base +1.
Yeah. Starts to look that way.
Nice place to put it in as well. No Overlord near there. No way it's going to get scouted unless the Ling gets in somehow.
This is such a cool probe scout, because now he can actually go chase that Overlord down with the Stalker after he checks the third base. Looks like the Stalker's going to stick back at home instead, though.
Lings should actually try and find that probe as well. I'm surprised the Overlord didn't see it, or if it did, ByuL didn't react to it. 14 Lings being made right now. So Ling speed has finished. Evolution Chamber on the way as well. 2 of them.
I don't think the Zealot is really what forced that, but the Zealot is just kind of trying to find some usefulness. That's that awkward Zealot he had to make to kill the Extractor. You wouldn't normally have a Zealot at this stage in the game, so
yeah,
he's just trying to do something with it, trying to force Lings, try to get it. Even a drone kill would actually be so huge. It'd be like such a great bonus for the Zealot. Look at his position. He's actually going to get quite a few of these Lings. Oh, good micro by ByuL, actually. Looks like he's only going to lose 1 or 2 Lings here.
Yeah, there's a couple.
3 for 1 Zealot. That's all right.
That's all right.
It's about as good as you get for that.
Yeah, we're seeing warp-ins of sentries from here, so he's going to go for that 3 base. Adding actually 3 more gateways behind this as well.
Ooh, a 4th gate.
Ooh, okay, never
really
mind.
Commit.
Yeah, looks like he wants to go for an all-in behind this. Maybe an empty third base. Maybe no third base at all.
I think he's going to have to show one here. It's going to be too suspicious. Oh, losing the probe, though. That's going to make this awkward. And these sentries have to use some force field to save them. Now, will he actually fake a Nexus now, or is he just going to move across?
I don't think
he's
he
going
has
to move
to.
across.
He's probably happy that the probe died because it makes it look like he doesn't have to delay it at all. It's like, oh, you killed the probe, so obviously I can't expand just yet.
Well, the sentries are spotted here. The pylon, though, like you were talking about before, finding that probe would have been so important. It's so nice to do.
You know, it's the thing you have to do as a Zerg player. You always got to look for these probes on the map, and it could very well come back to bite ByuL. He's making a lot of Ling Roach now, but is it too late?
Well, 18 Lings on the way. The 7 Roaches are the scarier part, especially if he can get more than that out on the map, because this is almost purely Sentry. He needs more Stalkers to warp in.
Yeah, he needs a lot more Stalker and Zealot to come in here. He's going to be forcing out a lot of force work he doesn't want to actually make. And the first Sentry going, Stalker going down.
Yeah.
Big mistake there.
He needs those Stalkers. Here they come.
Yeah.
He needs to be chrono boosting his gateways like crazy back at home to make sure he can keep his warp-ins. This pylon is not very close, actually. It's just not quite close enough to really do much.
Yeah, you could actually
reinforcing.
use that probe for another one if you wanted to, just not using it just yet.
Yeah.
This is a bad position once again. Roach is getting a lot of hits on sentries.
Yeah, they're in a pretty decent concave here at the top of the ramp. This horse is barely stopping the Roaches on the left side from actually hitting this. Here comes some more Lings back here. I feel like he could have been a little bit more patient, ByuL could have, and waited for here to try to force his way up the ramp a little bit more.
Yeah, he should still have enough to force it back at least a little bit.
Yeah, these Queens are actually transfusing each other and doing so much range damage.
He's running out of force fields too. He's got 1 left at this point.
Yep.
Can't trade the Roaches too early. And he's also got a Spine Crawler happening at the back.
That Spine Crawler would be so nice to have against all these sentries, but his Time Warp is so good. So many Stalkers here now. Finally, he's got the Stalker count he needs to continue to fight this. Now he's been tight back against the drones. Ooh, I don't know about getting put back into this corner. Now he doesn't have anywhere to run.
That's too many Roaches as well, you know. A lot of them doing a lot of work, trading out with the Stalker pretty efficiently. And the Mothership Core is going to go down as well from the Queen at the back.
He needs to actually regroup here with these Roaches. Transfuse is going down. A lot of drones fell here. Actually, herO now ahead in workers at 48 to 45, and this hatchery is starting to take some serious damage.
I don't know if it's going to be enough though. I think we're going to see a commitment from ByuL before it goes down.
He might even have to pull some drones here. And he's got a lot of Roaches, actually. They all pop out right now. Sentry's finally coming up. There's only a few of them here. He doesn't have enough force fields. He's actually going to have to leave.
No, he's run out. He's definitely run out of steam at this point. He could even kill the cooling tower to buy a little bit more time if he wanted to. I think that'd be so smart.
So smart. He's going to do exactly that.
Genius.
Oh, what is he? I thought he was about to like lose his whole army under that rock.
And now things get that much harder for herO, but he has to kill it. He cannot fight from the other direction because there's simply too much creep there.
Yeah. And there's too many reinforcements from that angle. He's going to get surrounded.
Well, there's too many up top of this ramp now. He's going to find out soon enough when he tries to go up.
You know what's funny about this? ByuL has the +1 upgrade for his Lings, not for the Roaches.
That's right.
The Ling's a bit stronger than it would be normally, and they're doing their work against these Zealots. And with this concave of Roaches, herO is really struggling to get in here. A lot of Queens.
Oh,
he's targeting the hatch. He's targeting the hatch.
He gets the hatchery, but he loses his entire army for it. I don't know if that was worth it.
I don't think so, because now he's never going to be able to take a third base, and I don't think he's going to be able to necessarily even escape with all these Stalkers. How many Lings are left on the map? I guess not enough to chase.
Not enough to chase, but you know he's going to find the pylon. He's going to remake the hatchery. And he's going to counterattack with a much superior army.
Yeah, look at the army supply. 61 to 18 right now. He's lost so many Stalkers.
He's making cannons at the front of his natural, actually.
And a Robo trying to get Immortals out.
Next step, that would be very smart for ByuL. Would probably be going to Hydras from here, you know, getting +1 upgrade for the Roaches and Hydras.
I actually really like that he's getting a macro hatch as well.
Yeah.
Here's going to have to kill his own pylon to escape.
ByuL in a commanding position. You just got to make sure he maintains pretty heavy supply lead. And in transition, go for those Hydras. You could even go for Mutas, but the timing on it might just not work out. There we go. It's going to be Hydras after all.
Yeah, Hydras are safe. Mula's not a bad choice.
Not a bad choice, but he just doesn't have the gas bank for it. And, you know, he did lose that hatchery, so...
Yeah, he's only going to have 4 gases of mining, realistically, until that's rebuilt.
And you kind of hard counter the army from here, because it is just going to be, you know, gateway units, maybe some Immortals. He cannot afford to go into Colossus from here.
Yeah, in fact, taking this third base is such a risk, but you have to take risks like this when you're behind. I kind of wish ByuL had a Ling over there to spot for that, because he could definitely punish this base right now pretty easily with all the Roaches he has, and the +1 Lings.
It's still a pretty hard map to defend third base on just the same, because, you know, there's that whole little ramp towards both sides of it, actually.
Yeah.
So you can come in from a lot of different angles. You can even start hitting the natural. Force units out.
He's going to use this Warp Prism to try to keep ByuL away from his third base. it's actually going to work out really well. ByuL does have that group of roaches coming across the left side. He's also taking a 4th base during this, but so many queens here for ByuL.
Yeah.
Like, he's just targeting that War Prism down, already down to 74 hit points.
It's getting pretty low. It's going to be forced out. It might even die.
I think it's going to die.
Oh, one more hit. Oh, what?
Oh, Queen will get it.
Oh, yeah, he gets it. Completely shut down. Wow.
Queen's a Predator with 3 kills.
Damn.
Warp Prism was the prey. Well, a lot of force fields here. He does not want to overcommit with these roaches, which he's researching 2 upgrades for now, getting the 1/1.
Yeah, I like that. Going for Spire now, too, actually. And that 4th base half done.
You know what's funny, Moonglade, actually, we haven't seen a single Colossus in this tournament.
Yeah, they're becoming a lot more rare because you just see so many timings with Vipers, or we see Predators try and kill the Zerg before, you know, Colossus would even be viable. Like, he's very quick. Blink Stalker ins. Blink Stalker attacks, and he's really caught out these roaches. Ooh.
Yep, a lot of these roaches go down, but there's not too much to defend back at home. He might have to recall. A few Stalker Warpings. He's going to need a Sentry. Let's get that Sentry.
Yeah, that should be enough. ByuL buying time, but losing a lot of supply for it.
Yeah, he's actually going to get caught here and lose a few more of these roaches.
Yeah, I don't know if this is worth it.
Well, is so strong right now, man.
It could actually counter, it could trigger a counter attack from heroes too, you know. He's like, well, I just killed so many roaches, so much roach supply.
23 Hydras on the way.
Maybe he can actually just kill this 4th base. And
I think he definitely can. There's nothing to stop him yet. The Hydras, if they were out, could definitely help out, but they're not here yet. His base isn't mining yet.
He could recall behind this too. Like, he's going to weigh out no matter what.
Yep. A few cannons here actually going to buy some time at this 3rd. There's the recall. In fact, he's not even going to get those other cannons. The Stalker on his way out, but these Hydras, how much damage do you think they're really going to get done here? There's only 1 Immortal out, but these units are about to have +3.
Yeah, this is a big problem.
And also, I mean, he's only got +1/1 versus the units already have 2/1 for herO.
He's going into a Muta switch as well. Maybe he's going to probably try and sit around 8. 5 might be just a little too low. See if he's going to add any more, but this will, you know, force units out of position. Maybe claim a lot of probes. There's not really much anti-air in the mineral lines or any base.
Yeah. herO is liking going into Storm again here, just like we saw him do yesterday as a follow-up once he gets that +3.
Perfect follow-up for this, actually. You know, Roach Hydra, they can't do anything against Storm whatsoever. They simply take way too much damage. And ByuL with a superior composition and army for now. You know, it's much bigger. It's going to do a lot of work against what we see.
He's turning around to, looks like, deal with these Mutalisks.
Did he actually get to see them?
I don't think so, actually. I guess he's just turning around.
He's going to go push back by the Roach Hydra.
Yeah, and doesn't actually have any idea. This is his first glimpse of it. Yep. He's going to want to react very quickly. 3 probes already going down. Yeah,
I kind of love it that it's only just a few mutas, like 5 mutas, enough to start one-shotting probes and really cause some havoc.
And just threaten him, force him to turn around. And he's now going to try to get in a position to kill this 4th base of herO, and I don't think herO can get back in time. He does have a few cannons here.
Yeah, he should be fine. Force fields are going to make this a lot trickier as well.
He's not actually still dealt with these Mutalisks.
No, they're doing a lot of work.
10 kills.
And the power of mutas in the late game like this. Protoss don't normally put much defense in their mineral lines. But this army from here is the biggest problem here.
It's like a perfect army.
It's got Storm.
Storm in 14 seconds, yeah. Meanwhile, he's got tons of force fields to back up the Stalkers until that's ready.
Yeah, I don't know how ByuL's going to break this, because it's going to be way too cost efficient, especially with these upgrades as well.
I think he just wants to buy time to get his hive up and, you know, just build a bigger bank.
Yes?
I don't think he wants to fight this army strip. He just wants to threaten it and constantly force herO to move around.
He's got a nice concave, and here we go. Big blink forward from here. That might have been a mistake.
Yeah, also these Storms are not in the right position. He's finally trying to get them out here, but look at this High Templar getting zoned out by like 1 Roach and a few Zerglings.
Oh, wow.
And he dodges most of the Storms.
Yeah, 1 big one on the left side there, and
that's a really good Storm. He blinks forward here. The Time Warp helping zoning out as well. No more Storms, it looks like, but it looks like it's not going to matter here either. Now, how is he going to remax? 17 more Hydras.
This is not going to help out. It's the same problem, the same competition. It's just not going to work. Muta's even getting point damage, but this is such a scary army, and there's no answer for it.
This base is going to die.
It's going to be dead. It's going to be dead. I think ByuL might even be dead at this point. He's on equal supply. essentially behind in economy too.
Yeah, his upgrades are not where he wants them to be either. There aren't any high tempo on the map anymore, but I think with just pure Blink Stalker and good micro out of herO, he can win this fight. He's already shown good micro. This Blink forward, though, was not going to be the right choice.
Yeah, don't want to be fighting into a concave, even at this point. It's 2-2 Hydra Roach at this point.
These Mulists have done so much damage in total.
Yeah, they do fantastic work.
They're actually part of what's keeping ByuL in this game.
It might be the only thing at this point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, ByuL's micro against these Storms have also been pretty good. But he's going to have to transition out of this at some point.
The problem with Storm is it's always going to put you out of position as well. You're always going to have to move back, and half your army isn't going to be attacking when your other half is.
Exactly.
And then like the Stalker, Sentry, Immortal is just wailing away at your army.
All right, going to attack into here now on top of this Nexus. So many Blink Stalkers on this map. Storm's going down. He's going to lose some High Templar for it.
Yeah, nice. Sort of concave at the top of the ramp.
Exactly. Always positioning himself at the top of these ramps really, really well. But now finally herO can blink forward.
Yeah, ByuL's going to get back.
Look at this micro, though. He's always able to chase down a few of these High Templar with like 1 or 2 roaches, sometimes even a few lings.
That should just not happen, but it is. He gets rid of one. I don't know if he got rid of the second one.
He's going to get the second one.
Oh. Very important kills there.
It saves the roach.
There's only one Storm left in this army. ByuL just got to put himself in a good position, and he can trade pretty efficiently.
He wants to build a bank. He's getting a few Vipers out.
Oh, you got to get that concave up. No, he's going to keep retreating.
Viper does have a few, you know,
got one blind.
One blinding cloud sorting.
Still, ByuL's kind of retreated a little too far, and now he's in a really bad place.
Yeah, because now herO can actually go and kill that base at the top right. Not the one that just got started, but the one that's mining. Oh my god, this happens again?
Oh,
he wasn't paying attention.
He wasn't paying attention. That could have been 4 Templar kills. That would be so important.
All right, Stalkers are going to clean this up, though.
These counterattacks are just keeping him alive.
Yeah. This base at the top right is scouted. herO just keeps fighting the army straight up. Okay, he's only got 1 High Templar in this army. A few more now starting to join. Good pull here. Getting that Immortal.
Yeah.
Expensive unit, a very nice kill.
Oh, a lot of Storms this time around.
Oh, way too many. Splits are good, but again, you lose DPS while you're splitting like that. And look at this, more Storms.
Blinding Cloud did not help whatsoever. And that might be it. Everything's getting broken down.
Yeah. Archon's joining the mix now. This army is very heavily upgraded at 3-2. It's going to come up here. We're going to see him type out, I think, in just a second. There's nothing left. GG. ByuL with a smile as he types it out.
Yeah, very surprising. He was in such a great place in the early game, deflecting the gateway all-in, but the follow-up was just not there. And here he eventually got into that death bowl, adding the Templar. Not much Roach Hydra can do against that. You've got to have an answer for it. Probably the best answer would be Broodlord, but he was not in the place economic-wise to do so.
Yeah. He was trying to build a bank, but he just couldn't do it. Like, I think what he was trying to do was like always just try to run around herO and try to pick off some of his High Templar with a few roaches and lings and just keep kind of outmaneuvering him and splitting and threatening the Nexus so he could build a bank to switch those Broodlords. Like, you don't even want to use Ultralisk against this comp because there's just too many Blink Stalkers. There's some Immortals in there as well.
Immortals would just be a big problem. And yeah, just the Blink Stalkers, you know, they're going to one-shot Immortals when, one-shot Ultras when they're in that sort of massive pack. And
what you would have wanted, you know, once upon a time in this situation would be Swarm Hosts to stop this sort of composition.
Well, that was the natural counter back in the day, like before the patch. I think one of the bigger moments in that game was the Blink Stalkers sniping the 4th base. You have to have those 8 gases going into the late game against Protoss. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to afford Vipers because we only saw 1 that game.
Yeah.
It only 1 came out against that kind of composition. It's probably kind of surprising, but you did lose that 4th base, which is one of the bigger moves there. And you kind of just let it go. He was just out of position for it. Yeah,
and you don't have that gas. You can't make those Vipers. 1 Viper can give you some utility, like a weak Blinding Cloud here or there and a pull on an Immortal, but you're going to need like a
you're going to need like a blanket.
Oh, blanket. Yeah, I think that's the best word for this. Like
you need to like really force the Protoss out of position or force them to retreat or force them to fight underneath it and quite possibly die. Like,
you need like a, like a blanket of those, like a field of Blinding Cloud. You need to make the entire Protoss army deal with it.
A cloud.
A cloud of it. You don't want the whole Protoss army to just be like, oh, I'll just eventually walk through this. It doesn't matter. Like, it needs to be, you know, a cloud, like a storm Okay, you know, like
we're really
getting into this. I'm like, just
it's like a storm. It's like a hurricane.
You know that
a blinding cloud.
You know, like cartoon image of like the guy who's got like the small cloud over his head. Like then the Pro Army has that one small blinding cloud, just walks away from it, and it's just like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.